Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a new legend team, but also the team of the current world champion here. And we're going to have a very fun Pokemon in there, which I'm really excited to showcase here today, which is going to be the Shadow Marshtomp. Marshtomp is a Pokemon that I had to build for this video, but it's also a Pokemon that is not as unique maybe, because there are quite a lot of Mud Boys, but then it is kind of a bit unique still. The thing about this Pokemon is, it is basically Swampert, but it has a Mud Bomb over Hydro Cannon. So it's only if you really want to have like a cheap ground type move, where this Pokemon is going to be better than the Swampert. As you can see here, I had to actually build this thing first. But also, it has access to Sludge, which got buffed this season, which makes it a very interesting pick. And it has the opportunity, at least, there to beat some of the grass type Pokemon. And honestly, this Pokemon was really good on this team. Of course, Tropius is a Pokemon that is very difficult to substitute. Generally speaking, it's not very difficult to substitute this Pokemon because we have a Jumpluff, which is basically Tropius in a bit better. But the issue is, Jumpluff is banned for this cup. So while in any kind of normal circumstances, this Pokemon would be having an easy substitute that's quite easily get for a lot of people there with the Jumpluff. You don't have this here. You just don't have this. But if you have a Tropius build, like, there's definitely something that you kind of want to do here for it. Tropius is a regional Pokemon. Tropius has been released though in X before, I think 2-3 times. So yeah, I don't know. Like, this Pokemon is definitely something that you could have had already. Here, I got mine from a trade as well with very good IVs, which is really lucky. But again, it is something that you can only really get in certain regions or through X during an event that's, I think, now 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, Tropius, really cool Pokemon. Anyway, we're going to see here Lapras. Against us, we're going to be able to go for the Leaf Blade here. How does this team function? Our Say Stop is going to be actually our Marshtomp, which has access to Sludge, which is going to give us good coverage against those Grass-type Pokemon, especially Cacturne in the current meta. I made a video about Cacturne already as well, and I would assume that there are a lot more videos are coming up here. The opponent catches the Mud Bomb, which is actually really smart. I actually wanted to go at this battle to go for the Sludge here, but I kind of decided, I'm just going to go for the stab move. Was a bit of a silly idea, because if I went actually straight for the Sludge, I would have knocked them out there as well already. But I'm still going to be able to realign, which is going to be great, because all the energy that they just gained on the Lapras is going to go to waste against our Jellicent. That's what I kind of thought here, but they actually still can go for a charge move here. Jellicent still comes in, of course, we can get a ton of energy here, hopefully, as they're going to be forced to go for a charge move. But yeah, Jellicent is going to be our closer. Going to be very good in the current meta, especially against Weezing, but only if Weezing doesn't run Brutal Swing. So, do they have Sludge? Do they have the Overheat? We will find out very shortly. We will see another Surf coming through. This is going to allow us to get a ton of damage onto them, which is already kind of great, because now they might be even in Air Slash down range. But let's see what they're going to go for. Is it a Brutal Swing? It is the Overheat, so their Brutal Swing, they don't have Brutal Swing, they only have Sludge and Overheat, which is cool. We can survive the hit here now, guaranteed. No matter what they're going to go for, it's going to be another Overheat. And they go back into the Lapras. We have to farm them down, but we cannot farm them down. We needed that farm down because they still had the shield left. But yeah, well played by the opponent, and nothing we could have done there anymore. Next up, let's see who we're going to have here next. We're going to have a Tentacruel against us in the lead, where we're going to swap out straight away into our Marshtomp. And again, yes, Marshtomp might be the better answer to the Tentacruel compared to the Jellicent. Both of them are solid answers to this Pokemon though. The benefit of Marshtomp is that if they would have went into the Cacturne, which I expect them having in the back here basically, we would have had Sludge at least there. We would be able to actually get 2 shields from the opponent as well, which is kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to get out the Amoonguss here instead. We can get a shield advantage, and that is already basically more than I expected here anyway. Like, I think that's going to be really good that we have the shield advantage. Now, they're still actually forced to throw a charge move. I could use a shield and risk it and go for another charge move, then try to realign. Could have been a good play, to be fair. I think that maybe would have been the best play to go for there, because then we would have had not the opponent's Cacturne against our Jellicent. But I don't think it really matters here, because what we will see is we're going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball. It's not enough, but they're still going to go for their own charge move now, which is going to be great, because the Trailblaze comes through here against a Pokemon where I don't really care too much about the damage that they go for. And now I still have a shield left for the Tentacruel, but I have to call a bait here. I have to call that they go for the Acid Spray, and they do go for the Acid Spray. And while they're going to do more fast move pressure now with the opponent's Tentacruel there, we're going to have access to go for the Leaf Blade quite easily here, and we're going to get the KO with another Leaf Blade here against the opponent. That's the benefit of having Leaf Blade, by the way. That's the one thing that Tropius makes it a bit different or like better than, for example, Jump Love in certain scenarios is just the move Leaf Blade because it's very, very overpowered. Next up, we're going to have Jellicent against us. This is going to be a matchup again where we kind of want to go for a Leaf Blade against the opponent, but they're going to catch the move onto the Klefki, which I don't actually mind too much because guess what? We have a good answer against you in the back. We want to have the Marshtomp, and a lot of times when people are running Klefki as a safe swap, they're going to run the Mawile in the back, and they have no chance of realigning here, so they just let the move go through. Klefki gonna go down here, and they're very likely gonna go back into their Jellicent, where we can still go for a Mud Bomb, and this is actually really nice, because now they're gonna be in range for one Leaf Blade, and they're gonna be in range for even Hex plus Surf later on, so that extra damage is actually really, really cool for us. Surf comes through here, they're gonna go into their Bomber Snow afterwards, which is fine by us. We're gonna be able to go for another Surf against the opponent here, and we're gonna be able to get the damage onto them. And you might wonder, why did you not go up until like you had the Shadow Ball there? I actually just wanted the damage. They're gonna go for the Energy Ball, which is totally fine here. The Energy Ball is totally fine. We're gonna shield this move up, we can go for another Surf, and look at the Hex damage that we do already, and I knew that. That Hex now, after the recent buff, actually is quite solid as well in terms of how much damage it does. And they go for another Energy Ball, that is fine by me because we can just farm them down. And with that, we're going to have a ton of energy here, and I'm gonna call the bait. If they have Ice Beam, they would knock us out here. They're going to have Shadow Ball, and we can go for another Leaf Blade spam here. This next Leaf Blade is going to be enough to knock them out. Then this is going to be totally fine, as we can go for another one, getting the KO here, and this is going to be definitely a win for us. Next up, we're going to have the Tropius against Empoleon. That's going to be a matchup again, where you're going to have two good answers in the back, but maybe we can get a little bit of damage here already onto the opponent with a Leaf Blade and then swap out afterwards. So let's see how this is gonna go. Leaf Blade, gonna get the shield, we're gonna get into our Marshtomp, and we have the Tropius coming in, and this is the benefit of Marshtomp. Because of Sludge, this Pokemon is going to be able to do so much damage against the Tropius, and what you see here on the top as well is that we're going to have a shield advantage. This is gonna be gone now with that Leaf Blade coming through, but we regenerate energy faster than the opponent, and we're gonna be able to guarantee realigning ourselves with Marshtomp. But what I see here as well is on the right side, the switch clock is coming up, and so I expect them to swap out. I make a bit of a mistake here by swapping into my Tropius. I should have went into my Jellicent instead, but I knew that they would go into the Empoleon to try to snipe me. It didn't work out, we catch the resisted hit, but what I didn't know is that they would be able to outspeed me here to go for a Drill Peck, and that is of course a super effective hit from the opponent, so that was well done. But what we can do next is we can go back into our Marshtomp. There should be Canna Energy dry, so we can overfarm by quite a bit. We would have enough to go for another Sludge to knock out the opponent's Tropius if they want to come back into that one, but they're going to reveal that they're going to have the Gastrodon in the back. We're going to be able to get a ton of energy as they going to try to go for their Earth Power. This is going to get us low. They're going to even get the defense drop onto us, which is a bit unfortunate because now they can farm us down. But you know what's kind of funny? I don't really care too much about it. Marshtomp wins the MP tile against the Gastrodon, and so as long as they're going to be able to hit the Surf, this is going to be enough to knock them out here, as this is going to be a very good game, as a Mud Bomb is going to be enough to get the KO, and with a few HP that we have left, that's all that we really need to get the KO against the opponent, and we can move on to the next opponent here. Next up, we're going to have Tropius against Jellicent. This is going to be again a matchup that we can definitely play out. We see the swap out here into the Klefki, and I let the move go through here. I don't know if this is the wisest choice ever, because now they have the option to realign themselves. But I was thinking, they're most likely going to have their Mawile in the back, right? And even if I get two shields here, I should be kind of fine with just my Jellicent. The only Pokemon that I'm fearing here right now is that the opponent might have in the back something like the Cacturn. But like anything else I'm kind of fine with. We can go for the Leaf Blade here. Is this going to be enough to knock them out? It's going to be a bit of a close one. Klefki is definitely a problem, by the way, for this team if you don't have your Mud Boy left anymore. But as you see here, we're going to be able to take the Flash Cannon, which does a lot of damage against us. And we can swap out here as they reveal that they have the Weezing. I'm not too sure what they have for this moveset, but based on their reaction here, I do think it was most likely Sludge and Overheat. Jellicent up against our what's called Tropius here. It's going to be fine. We're going to see the swap out into the Mantine. I go for the Leaf Blade. This is just to weaken them a little bit, because now they're going to be in range for just one Shadow Ball of our Jellicent, which is going to be great for us because they are not doing that much damage. They have Aerial Ace against us, which is going to do a little bit, of course, but we can take two quite easily, and we're going to should have most likely went for an extra fast move here, but we forced them to use a shield here early on, which is kind of cool. I can let another move go through here as well. We still kind of had very nice health. Our Jelson is really bulky, and so we can even use a shield here now. This is totally fine, but we can get basically guaranteed realignment, which is really cool. We can go for a Surf here as well. Sure, win for the Shadow Ball. It's fine, but we can realign us guaranteed. But you know what's also kind of nice, because we're overfarmed by a little bit, we can go for another Shadow Ball here, which either gets the KO or like get them very, very low at least. And so yeah, we're gonna get a lot of damage onto them, they stop onto them all while, and they're gonna get hardwalled by the Marshtomp, which is totally fine by us, as another Mud Bomb is going to be enough to get the shield, and we can get another KO with the next Mud Bomb coming in. The only play actually would be here to go for a Play Rough, and I let the move go through. They don't even go for that, they go for the Power Punch, which no matter what they're gonna do, they're gonna lose the matchup with that one. And so we can even overfarm by a tiny bit, which maybe force the opponent to go for a charge move early on. But as we see, yeah, they're gonna go for the charge move early on. I would have a Mud Bomb stored here at this point. Surf is not going to be enough, and so we go for the Sludge BM move, because I know it's going to be enough to knock them out. Have a little bit of fun, and we can move on to the second to last battle. Shouts to this trainer, by the way. This was a very fun battle to play here. We're gonna see a very bad lead for us. It's going to be the Reezing, and I'm gonna try to catch the move here. They don't fall for it. Well played there. They're gonna go into the Golisopod, and this is the thing for our Marshtomp. Now here is where Marshtomp really shines, because with the recent buff on Sludge, this Pokemon is absolutely amazing, even in like matchups like this, where it's like in theory and hard answer to any kind of Mud Boy. We're still gonna be able to force a shield from the opponent or get the KO. And so here, Sludge coming through, gonna get the shield from them. Very nice. We have now an advantage here coming into the next matchup, which is cool. And I have my Jelson, which should be a good answer to the Reezing. As long as they don't have a hard answer to Jelson in the back, I should be fine. I catch the move here. Everything is so going perfect for me. I have a shield advantage, I have energy advantage on both of my Pokemon. They have Lapras in back. That should be totally fine for me. But then I realized they have a ton of energy on the Weezing. If the Weezing has a Brutal Swing, I'm gonna be in big trouble. I let the move go through here, and I just pray that they don't have Brutal Swing on their Weezing. But as you see here as well, the Lapras is going to go up now. Still gotta get to another charge move. I think I can survive that. I go for the swap out here straight away to try to get the KO and keep the Shadow Ball for later on against the Weezing. I need to somehow get the shield from the opponent. I have still 2 shields left, which looks really good for us. We can use a shield here, and Brutal Swing is coming through. They have Brutal Swing with that one. I can go for the Aerial Ace. I hope I get the shield here. Please shield. They did not shield, which is really well played by them, as now they're gonna be able to go for another move. And I make a big mistake here, because I shielded 2 baits and they're still having access to Sludge. Absolutely well played here, and they win with a few HP. I love that battle. Like, that's the thing as well. I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing if the opponent plays like better, or like generally speaking, it's a great game. That was a great game. Shoutouts to you there, well played, and we can move on to the next battle. We're going to encounter Dugong against us. We're going to be able to go for some nice Leaf Blade action here, getting the shield early, and we can at least now go into our Jelson, which is a very good matchup for us, as a Drill Run is not going to even two-shot us while we do some nice neutral damage, especially now with the Hex buff. Like, Jelson with the Hex buff is ridiculously strong. Like, this Pokemon is so much better now, but I think that's the thing as well, which I like about the buffs this season. I do think they're all balanced. Like, I think they also even balance out the stuff that wasn't balanced the season prior. So that's the thing as well about this season update. I do think it was one of the best season updates that we ever had, because I don't think there's anything absolutely broken. There are Pokemon that are a bit more too annoying maybe for me as well, like Weezing. I feel like Galarian Weezing is a bit annoying to play against, because it has like this great variety of moves. It has an amazing typing. It has a great fast move. It has now insane damage output. It can even flip like matchups that's supposed to be bad for itself. So like, that's a Pokemon that I would say like, did it really need the Sludge buff there? But yeah, again, it is still a very solid season update, and there's always going to be like 1 or 2 Pokemon that are going to be like, yeah, that's kind of broken. Anyway, these are the 2 sets that I did play so far with this team. This team was absolutely amazing, by the way, as you see as well by the amount of wins that we got. And here we see again why you want to run the Sludge over the Surf on the Marshtomp, because guess what? You're going to be able to beat a ton of the Pokemon that are supposed to counter you. And that is the main benefit of this thing. You have a bit more bulk, I think, than Swampert as well here. And we're going to be able to get the KO against the Mantine. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Check out, of course, the World Champion down below in the description. And I will see you then. Bye-bye.